A warm welcome to all the listeners. Listen to the Blue Horse. Dr.C.K.N. is in conversation with Pooja. I'm sure you'll enjoy this session, and I'm sure it's going to be some food for your thought.
Hello everybody, welcome to another podcast with a Blue Horse. Hello doctor.
Hi.
Doctor, can you give the diet for diabetic people?
You want to know what will be the diet for diabetic people?
Yes.
What do you mean what diet for diabetic people?
See, have you heard of people telling that diabetic people should avoid eating a lot of rice and they should take a lot of wheat, all such things?
No. Rice and wheat are the same. They both are starch material. They are both of carbohydrates. They are, you know what is a starch material? Starch is polysaccharide. Saccharide is a Greek word for sugar. Polysaccharide is hundreds and thousands of glucose in a linear chain. That's all. So what is the difference between wheat has got gluten, rice has no gluten. The only difference is rice makes you feel hungry very fast because it's easily digestible. Wheat takes little longer time to digest, so you feel hungry little later. That's all.
Okay.
But without carbohydrate, you cannot function, no? It is because that your glucose levels are on the higher side when you become a diabetic individual, right?
Yeah.
You cannot, alter your diet.
So the diabetic people do they have to take small meals? Do they have to split their meals?
See, you cannot go on changing your biological clock in my books.
Okay.
You may not, many people listening to this may not agree to it. Eat small quantity, eat every 2 hours. No, that's not the way. I don't think so that is correct.
Okay.
You make low glycemic food. What is your advanced food science doing? Why are you not in a position to reduce the glycemic index of food? Right?
Yeah.
What is that once you become diabetic, you eat lot of vegetable, dal, or go for high protein diet like eating a lot of eggs and all that. Yeah, that's going to screw you up.
Okay.
You lose weight because your carbs are not coming in, no? Glucose is the main fuel for the human cells, right?
Yes.
And if you're going to completely reduce your glucose in your food by saying some kind of a diet, then what happens to you? Your Seema, there are 4 things. One is called glycolysis, the other is called glycogenesis, okay? Glycogenolysis, and then glyconeogenesis. Glycolysis is what? Food coming in, a lot of carbs coming in. They are all converted to monomers in your digestion, absorbed by the lumen of the intestine, come into the mainstream of blood. All the glucose getting transported to human cells for their need. Energy need is required, no? Only with the glucose the cells can function. So insulin is transporting. This is called glycolysis. Glycogenesis is long hours of not eating. Say you finish your dinner at 7:30. In glycolysis, what happens after all the glucose is served to all the cells, excess glucose will be converted to glycogen and kept. Both in the liver and the muscular tissues. So alpha cells in the pancreas produce a hormone called glucagon. So glycogenesis is nothing other than when you are not eating, when you need glucose, what happens? Where do we go? So glucagon comes as a hormone from alpha cells from the pancreas. They go and releases the glycogen, break them into monomers and put it in the blood. Because this system, glycogenesis, is the one which is maintaining constant 60 to 80 or 80, around 75 to 85, 90 points of glucose in your blood. Otherwise, you will go to coma. If you go below 20, you go to coma. You know that? Hypoglycemia, you must have heard about it.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is glycogenesis is conversion of glycogen. Glycogenolysis is using the glycogen for sugar need. When you are not, say, suppose you are eating at 7:30 in the evening, your breakfast, your dinner, and next day morning, 8:30, 9 o'clock, you are eating your breakfast. So 13 hours you are without food, right? Where do I go for sugar? I have it in store, right? As glycogen.
Okay.
Do you understand all this?
Yeah.
Now, glyconeogenesis is what? When there is no glycogen, what happens? Body converts everything into glucose, mainly your fat, right? That's how you lose weight. Suddenly, diabetic people, if the food is not getting properly transported,
they lose weight.
Then the neogenesis happens. Then the fat is converted to glucose because the heart has to go, no? The brain has to go. Basically, the 4th glucose transport to the skeletal body and certain parts of the body only is insulin dependent. the brain, the major internal organ, the RBCs.
And you also say that diabetic people should not avoid eating sweets or intaking sugar.
Burma, whether you eat wheat or whether you eat rice, you need carbohydrate. You are born in a system, say for example,
Sweets.
no, sweets are again carbohydrate.
Okay.
They are disaccharide. Sweets are, made out of sucrose, sugar. They are carbohydrate again.
Okay.
Not that you should stay away from sugar. See, the first and foremost wrong understanding on sugar. Sugar is something which is needed to the human body because it's an instant energy. You were born as a child. When after a few weeks, 12 weeks or 14 weeks or 20 weeks, when they start feeding you water, they, mix a little bit of sugar and give you. Yes, no?
Yes.
So you are used to sugar from the time you are born, right?
Yeah.
So suddenly at the age of 45, 50, 55, we are declared diabetic. You cannot cut sugar, you know that?
But that's how it has been worked so long.
No, I'm just telling you the fact behind it. You must eat your sugar.
Okay.
Little bit of sugar is required. That's the instant energy to the brain.
I mean the white sugar, honey, all of it.
Parama, any sugar.
Any form.
Sugar is sugar. This is white sugar, brown sugar, jaggery. It's all no meaning.
Okay.
Sucrose is sucrose. Glucose plus fructose is sucrose.
Some people
What do you think is the big difference between white sugar, jaggery
some
and brown sugar? It's
people-
all the same.
avoid white sugar and they
No,
replace
it's
it
wrong,
with,
wrong.
honey.
White sugar is refined, that's all. Color is different. Sucrose is sucrose, no.
Okay.
It is because you are refining the jaggery from that dark color to the white and make it into diamond crystals as white refined cane sugar. You think it is not sucrose? It is still sucrose. 50% of it is fructose, 50% of it is glucose. Jaggery is also the same. And brown sugar is also the same.
Okay.
What is the difference there? There is no difference there. It's all crazy understanding. Once you deprive you from sugar and sugar related product, you're going to become psychologically hungry. Okay? The psychological appetite for sugar and sugar related product is going to burn inside. You got the point?
Yeah.
You become crazy. When people around you at home are going to control you, you're going to steal in the middle of the night from the fridge. Right?
Yes.
The juice is kept inside, the sweets kept inside and all that. Okay? So you're asking what is the diet of the diabetic people? Diet of the diabetic people is the same what he has eaten so far.
It changes once he becomes a diabetic person, isn't it?
Change what?
That's how he's being treated. His diet has been changed.
Diet's been changed to what?
All these questions, whatever I ask now, like he should, reduce intake of rice or avoid sugar.
See, you can do one adjustment is don't eat excessive food.
Okay.
First of all, even if you're a normal individual, you mean to say you and me can calculate how much food we need? We feel hungry, we eat.
Yeah.
You mean to say that this is what is my routine? Morning I get up, I do this, 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 I do this. Then I go to sleep at 10. I get up at 6 in the morning. Now to do this, I need to eat 1 egg. To do this, I need to drink 1 cup of coffee. Can you calculate like that?
No.
And you want to say that you're going to calculate in terms of what is going to be my physical exertion, how much of the calorie that I require. So what should be the calorie of food I should eat? No, you'll fail.
Okay.
Some days body doesn't want food. You don't feel hungry. If you're in an exorbitant mood, you don't feel hungry at all. You got it? If you're in a sad mood or a depressive mood, you go on eating. Right?
Yes.
Another disadvantage for mankind is the best way to kill time is to eat and drink something. So we keep doing it. So if you're going to sit in front of your television or the projector screen and going to watch some games, Olympics, big time competitions, World Cups, football, soccer, without your knowledge you go on eating, you know that?
Yes.
So these are all the common factors what happens in a human life. So when I fall diabetes, when I am declared diabetes, suppose diabetes mellitus is going to affect me, my glucose imbalance is going to start in my blood, my blood sugar is going to show on the higher side, all that kind of thing. Then what happens? Then the food intake of mine becomes questionable, right?
Yes.
So at the moment what we have many forms of medicines in modern science to keep the sugar down to normalcy in the blood. But then the point is, can I live without medicine? Then what should be my diet?
Is it curable, you mean?
Whether it is curable or not, we are not talking about the pathological part of the thing. We are only talking about the diet. You're deviating if you're going to go for cure, right?
No,
We are talking about, you asked a question,
I'm trying to
diabetic
connect it.
diet.
Like if we follow proper diet, can we cure it?
No, it is not the question of cure here. It is question of maintaining harmony.
Okay.
Diabetes is only a glucose imbalance. It's not a disease. Only when there is a disease, there is a cure. Okay. If there is going to be a metabolism related problems,
Then
you
what-
have to bring in harmony.
Then why it is blown up so much that it is
Blown up so much because everybody is, it's a business racket. Medicine is business. Medical field is business, right? Say for example, I live in an ex-country, right?
Okay.
And I belong to a political party. And in this political party wants to choose me as a leader for after 2 years. They think a lot of potency and powerful stuff in me. They think this man should be promoted. You know what they do?
What?
There'll be lot of article on me written in every magazine. There'll be lot of news about me in every newsprint every day. There'll be lot of discussion on me in every debate, in every television.
They're making you familiar among people.
Yeah, they boost and they embed my name and my figure in everybody's mind, right? It is a strategy which is followed, right? The same strategy is being followed in the last 30, 40 years, promoting this diabetes in everybody's mind.
Okay.
Whether you're diabetic or not, by showing numbers, they'll make you diabetic, right?
Okay.
So, who is the authority to bring biochemistry under numbers, and where have they found these numbers, and then which they wanted it to be universal? Say for example, if you go to Siberia, deep part of Siberia, people only more than 10, 11 months in a year, they live with only fish and meat, no carb. Now what are you going to talk about it? They are also human beings like you and me, right?
Yes.
Now how are we going to bring them under this banner? This is something totally different, right?
Yes.
There are many communities in this world, they eat only carbohydrate. They don't even eat vegetables. They survive with roots. Like how your aloo, your potatoes, they grow beneath the ground, right?
Yes.
You know that carrying the roots.
Yes.
They are one of the staple diet for many communities in China. Okay? And that and meat, they survive. So this diabetes diet is something which is a very, very funny part of understanding. It is highly impossible. There are many concepts, there are many theories, there are many type of diets and all that kind of thing. And nothing works. Okay, I'll ask you a question. If there is going to be a proper diet designed by the advanced food science for diabetic people, it should also make them live good and should cure their diabetes, right?
Yes.
Diabetes is not a disease, right?
Of course.
So, why such a diet has not been designed so far? You know everything about we know everything in modern science about grains, about pulses, lentils, vegetables, fruits, seeds,
Yeah, the nutrition
oil,
value, yeah.
all kinds of meat, eggs. We know everything about all this. What are all we are eating all over the world. And you know the nutrient value of all these things.
Yeah.
Why cannot there is something called food science, nutrition, science of nutrition, food science, advanced food science and all these people? Why are they not in a position to come out and say, boss, if you are diabetic, this is your diet. You don't need medicine. Okay?
Okay.
Why cannot they do that?
No, they give the medicine and they give you a diet to follow. Like you should take
What
only
diet?
so much of carbohydrates.
That's what I said. That's why I asked you a question. I get up in the morning at 6 o'clock. These are all the work that I do. This is what I go to sleep at 10. Now what should be the intake of my carbohydrate? How do I arrive at it? That's why I asked you that question.
Okay.
In which calculation you will bring in? Because I burn more energy. Even by living a sedentary life, you and me live a sedentary life. My metabolism earns more energy, burn more food than you. Because each human being is unique in nature, unique in its chemistry. The variation lies with microorganisms built in us. So you have to be your own doctor as a diabetic individual to decide on your diet what it should be to you. That will be my final answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, doctor, for all the informations you've given us. Thank you everybody for listening. Meet you all on another interesting podcast.